Hi everybody, Chris here. Welcome to my channel, Crafting Chris. Today is Saturday, January 26, 2019. I have a few different things that I was going to share with you today, some finishes, some new starts, some other crafty projects. So let's jump right in and get started. One of the first things that I wanted to share with you was I received some stitchy mail, some happy mail, and I just wanted to share that with you today. My good friend Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher, hi Nicole, surprised me with a gift in the mail before Christmas. It contained a few really fun things. So this was the card that she sent along with a really nice note inside. Inside that there was this cute little pouch, and within that there was this adorable needle minder. The other thing that she sent me was this gorgeous little project bag, which is the perfect size for me to take with me if I'm taking any stitching in the car or anything like that. And the really nice thing about this was I had been talking with Nicole a little bit about the fact that I was going to be getting a sewing machine for Christmas, and I was thinking about making my own project bags, and that these vinyl fronted ones were kind of like my favorite style that I thought I'd like to try making. So this was really fun because now I have like a beautifully made one as an example to have in front of me for any guidance and help that I need. So that was a thoughtful and wonderful gift, and I really appreciated it. So thank you so much, Nicole. So let's jump into some of my finishes that I had. I had shared with you in the last video that I was making a few different things as gifts for Christmas. So one of the things I had showed you that I was making were some of the little sleds, and I had chosen a Lizzie Kate pattern called Sled Dudes. So these have obviously been given away as gifts, but I had to make 4. So the Santa, the snowman, and the polar bear with the blue background were the 3 that came with the pattern, but I had to make 1 more. So I made another polar bear with a pink pattern. So those were the 4 that were gifts for our family Christmas exchange. And they stitched up really quick, and they were really fun to do. And everybody seemed to like them, so that was fun. The other things I had showed you were some pictures that I was making for my daughters for Christmas. And I did show this one in the last video, but we're just going to try and show it again as a reminder that, so this was the one I made for my oldest daughter. She loves elephants. She loves anything blue. So that was her gift. And then the other one I was working on down to the wire was the one for my younger daughter. And that was this tiger cub. So I did manage to get them finished in time. I wasn't sure. I was thinking, well, if worst comes to worst, I'll just wrap them partway done and tell her I'll finish them for you after Christmas. But I think it was the Sunday before Christmas. I was madly finishing them and then trying to get them framed so I could get them wrapped and under the tree. But anyway, so they really they were really happy with those, and seemed to really like them. So the other thing that I was working on was I had talked a little bit about I was going to give myself a new start on Christmas Eve if I got all my other stuff done, which I did. So I was very happy about that. So I thought it would be fun to start this Lizzie Kate, this Celebrate series. So this is the Christmas one, Mary. And so I did start this. I did start this on Christmas Eve. Now I didn't finish it until I think later that week, but it was still fun starting something Christmassy on Christmas Eve. And after I started that one, I did decide to do I have that the right way? I don't, sorry. I did decide to start the Valentine's Day one, the love one. This one I don't have very much done, just the O. So that was the second one, and I'm gonna try and work my way through that series over the year, hopefully. The other things that I've been working on, if you'll remember, I was doing this mandala hedgehog by Awesome Pattern Studio on Etsy, but I had done a color conversion to more blues and greens, and I actually did just manage to finish him the other day. So there he is, bright and colorful. I have mixed feelings about the final finished project. Basically just because of my color conversion, but again, it looks fine and I'm happy with it, and it really was a lot of fun. Like, these types of patterns are really fun to stitch just because of the variety and the colors and the textures and the patterns and stuff. But so he's done, and I think I'm just gonna get a hoop to sort of frame them in and hang them in my craft area downstairs. So the other project that I have been working on was my white willow stitching behind the bit. So this was going to be my New Year new start, and I've been dying to start this horse for quite a while since I bought it. But I'll be honest, I was a little bit worried whether I would start it and then be disappointed because it wasn't going to look the way I was hoping it was going to look. But I'm happy to report that I'm thrilled. I am having, oops, sorry, he goes this way. I'm having so much fun stitching him. The detail is amazing when you step back from it and look at it. You can see I'm sort of doing that zigzaggy edges, because I did notice when I was stitching the elephant, and I stitch in a 10 by 10 square following the grids. I usually go down in the column, and I could see some faint lines between the columns on the elephant. So I decided with this one I was going to try doing that little zigzag edge, and so far it seems to be working out fairly well. It just took me a little while to get used to doing it that way, but I'm enjoying it now. So that's one page finished, and I'm just starting on a second page. There's 15 pages total, so I'm having a lot of fun working on him. And that's all I've sort of been working on. I kind of decided I was going to kind of have two main works in progress. So this first part of January was my behind the bit, and then my hedgehog. So the hedgehog's done, so I'm going to add in a second one that I'm going to work on. So the next one I think I'm going to work on and try and finish up is this Mill Hill kit, Moonstruck. There he is with the kitty, and I had started this last fall, so again my goal is to try and get them finished up. So that's what I have so far. So yeah, so looking forward to getting back to that one and working on it. I'm really excited for the beads because I've discovered I really enjoy beading, so that's going to be fun. And that's kind of all I've been working on as far as stitching goes, and I haven't really bought a lot of new stuff lately, although I've been looking at stuff. But the other thing I've started doing a little bit is a little bit of reorganizing. I was finding when I was working on the Lizzie Kates, these guys, and I was using some hand-dyed or over-dyed flosses, and I was just finding they were seeming messy to me, and I was just sort of unhappy with just the way I was using them and putting them back in the bag and stuff. So I did decide I was going to make my own little cards to put them on. So this is sort of what I decided to do. Is I have punches from my scrapbooking, so I just punched out a circle, and I have a label maker, so I put the label on what thread it was. And then the weeks aren't pre-cut lengths, so that was one of the things I was struggling with is, you know, I'd have all different lengths when I was stitching, which was starting to annoy me a little bit. So I decided I was going to take them out and pre-cut them all, and then I even have them all on here individually, so I can just take one section when I need it. And then once I've used it, I have this other extra hole over here where I'll put the partially used pieces, I guess. So I'll try and use those up first before I take another new long strand. But so I was a little happier with that and liking how that was storing a little bit better. And then I sort of realized when I was working on my horse that my DMCs were started, because I've always bobbinated like everybody else has. I have the big double-sided container with all the bobbins in it. I'm slowly trying to build my whole collection of DMC. But I've heard other people say this too, that especially when you have to change colors so often like you do in a full coverage with a lot of confetti, I'm starting to get tired of having to pull the bobbin and unwrap it and take the strand that I needed off and then rewrap the stuff I'm not using and put it back in the box and go. And again, I was finding, when I was pulling lengths, I kind of just pull it out and cut it, and the lengths were all different lengths, and that was sort of bothering me a little bit. So I thought, well, maybe I should try doing something similar with my DMC that I did with the hand-dyed flosses. So I decided to make myself a little card. I did make it specifically this length because this is 4 inches, and I kind of thought, the other thing that always annoys me is when I cut my threads and I'm like going, is this long enough? Should I keep this and try using it again, or is it really too short? Should I just throw it away? So I thought this is 4 inches, which twice around this is 8 inches, which to me seemed like a decent length to save. If it's shorter than that, then I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it, but I'll see. I might modify that over time. So the other thing I decided to do was, again, cut individual lengths, so I don't have to keep stopping and doing that. When I need a new thread, I can just pull the section off that I want to use. And I've decided the hand-dyed flosses I did 18-inch lengths. And then the DMC I've done 36-inch lengths because at least on my behind the bit, it's 2/2, or sorry, it's 2/1 because it's Aida. It's 18 count Aida. But I use the loop start. So if I make it 36, I'm still working with about an 18-inch length, which seems to work for me. So I'm thinking this is what I'm going to do, but I've decided I'm not going to just rush ahead and take all my floss off the bobbins and put them on here, because I want to try using this system a little bit first and see how it works, because maybe I won't like it doing it that way, and if it doesn't, fine. But if it does, then I'm going to gradually change all of my DMC over onto cards like this. I did go a little crazy one day when I was sort of trying to think through this and plan it out, and my plan eventually will be that, yeah, I'll use one of the rings to put all the cards for one project on, and my table where I sit, there's a little there's a little drawer with a knob, so I could just hang the ring on the knob and all my flosses will hang there beside me. But I decided, just to make things a little simpler, that I'm going to do different colored cards depending on the number range of the DMC. So I went a little crazy one day and went through my card stock, and I cut a whole bunch of cards that I'm going to use eventually. So they're all sitting there ready when I'm ready to prep another skein of floss to use in my projects. And then I think to store them, I sort of combined a few ideas I'd seen online that people were doing. So I'm going to use the little index cards with the numbers on them. If I have a full skein, it'll go in the back here. and then I'll store the card with the number in there, and then when I need a floss for a project, I'll take my little card out, this little card, and then this will still sit in my storage box, and then when I'm done with the project, then this can just go back into my little Ziploc. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do, but as I say, I'm not gonna go crazy and switch everything over yet until I try it out a little bit and see how things go. So that's what I'm doing with my flosses. So then I did talk a little bit about the fact that my husband bought me a sewing machine for Christmas, so that was really fun. And part of my plan was I wanted to make some project bags, because right now my storage system for my projects is in this basket with Ziploc bags, which is fine. It works okay. But why not put your projects in a fun little pretty project bag if you can. So I bought myself some fabric. I watched a few tutorials and started. So this was my first one, and it turned out pretty good. I was pretty happy. So after I made that one, I thought, okay, let's try making some more, and I got some more fabric and cut some more out and did a couple at the same time. So this was my second one. And these are big enough that they will hold. So this is like 8.5 by 11, so they'll fit in there. I don't use hoops or Q-snaps because I don't know how well they would fit in these, but they certainly fit my patterns and fabrics and everything that I need to put in there. So, and then I made one more. This is the one. This is Christmas fabric, but I really like the colors. It's kind of like a taupey brown with some golds and silvers. So that's the one I'm keeping my horse in for now. So yeah, so I plan to make a few more. I'm hoping to only have like 6 to 10 works in progress going on at a time, but we'll see. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to making a few more of those and getting my project switched over out of Ziploc bags. I did discover once I made these that they did not fit in my little plastic dollar store basket that I was using. So I was able to find, if I can get the cat out of it, this really cool fabric type basket, which fits them perfectly, that I'm going to use to store my project bags in. So they all fit nicely in there. Like, so it's the perfect size for them to all sit in there. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So that's kind of my reorganization, trying to find other storage solutions that work a little bit better for me or make me a little happier when I'm working on my projects. So that's pretty much all that I have to share as far as my cross stitching goes right now. But I was going to just finish off with another little project, another little craft that I've made in the past, in the distant past probably. I had showed this book before at my very first video when I showed you the topsy-turvy doll that I had knitted for my daughter. And I had also made out of it a gift for my mom and dad one year. And it's these little snowman. Snow lady. Sorry, the sun's really coming around in my window. So he's got like his little candy cane cage. She's got her little umbrella. They both have their little scarves and their hats. I love the little holly and berries on his hat. And their little noses that they have. Anyway, I made those for my mom and dad for Christmas one year. She's got this dress on, but it tends to curl up. Anyway, so that's something else that I've made. I've made in the past. Anyway, thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for your subscriptions. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.